doesn't show up on film, but it's clearing up a little bit. So I've decided to take a chance, and it kind of comes and goes. 5 minutes ago I could see a peak over there, approximately 300 meters away, maybe more. So that's why I dressed up with a bit warmer clothes than I usually would in this temperature. It's around 10 degrees. But I guess there's going to be a lot of stopping, navigation, taking off the backpack, walking slowly, finding the right route. This is going to take a lot of time. And I guess we're going to move around 1.5 kilometers an hour. So, second, he's not happy about going. Can I show Einstein? Kom igen, resa på sig. This is where he had his chafing, so I shaved off a little bit this morning, and this is normal Compete, anti-blister plasters or whatever you call them, and I'm gonna use my handkerchief to put under his belly and see if I can kind of save that area. But if it doesn't get better, I will have to get rid of the panniers or whatever. So if anyone has a solution to this problem, I would love to hear it, because the body we got from the pet store doesn't work for shit. So it's really going to be interesting, but it's been a beautiful spot. Even if the weather is shitty today, we're going to be wet, miserable and cold, but that's life. This Einstein, rolig! I have to put down my camera. Einstein, rolig! Sorry about that. Really wild. And this is where we go if we slide, but I think this be fine. Put down the camera again. Einstein, hi! Come here. It's going to be an interesting descent. Oh, that's slippery. Kommer du här? What a true. So this is what we just scaled down. We crossed over that waterfall. over this way.
So it's like this forever and forever and forever. So we're actually walking along the shore, and when it's hard to walk, we just walk in the water. I can see a cabin over there, so it's gonna be interesting to see if we will check it out. Usually there's a trail from the cabin and it's easier to walk. But this is some of the most challenging terrain I've encountered, even since my days in the commandos. So, but the worst part is done, and now there's shitloads of
I don't know how far out it is. It's shallow, but it's like 200 meters to shore. If I can avoid that detour, this is perfectly fine. Absolutely. It's another experience. And what a trooper this dog is. What a trooper.
You know, it's shitty terrain, and this seems like a good option. I definitely need to buy a waterproof case for my phone. But the terrain is so shitty that I choose to wait until my waist down. It's definitely worth it. I think we have 1 hour left. We can pitch camp. I only have 80% left on the phone. It's been the hardest day so far, but quite satisfying in a way. So look at that. It's a fight, but kind of a good one.
So, sorry about this, but I have to try to explain this in retrospect. So, where you can see the cursor is where I had my second camp. And I was running out of batteries both on my camera, my Garmin Verb XC, and my iPhone. So I couldn't film this crossing, and I had to pack everything as waterproof as possible. The problem was that along the shore here, it was so steep that you couldn't even wade, so you would just slide out into the water and you have to swim anyway. Here I didn't know the stream, so instead of taking a risk of getting taken by the stream, I chose to just swim this stretch right here. I had no idea about this valley at all, but luckily for me, I met a couple approximately here. They took most of my gear into their car, and I just went back and tried to find a better way to get back to my camp. So I thought I would be able to wade over here, but I had to swim again. But it was still shorter than this stretch. I
packed up my camp, and then I walked to their cabin about here. It's not the exact position. And I spent the night there, and it was really enjoyable. I got offered good drinks and got a lot of nice intel about the next leg. And they drove me back and let me off around here. The problem was that this trail up here have probably not been used in a long time. That happens, but it's okay, and I'm really grateful for the help I got, the good drinks. I got to charge my devices. So that's just the amazing things that happens when you least expect it.
So I tried to sit on my backpack and a log I found and just paddle across. That did not work very well. So another round of swimming. Now we'll find out if I can pass down there where the stream is not so big, but I'm really afraid of falling and breaking an ankle or something happening with Einstein. So I might just choose to swim again. How much battery I have left. That's where I took the swim, and where I will go back and take another swim. The rapids doesn't show that well, but it's too deep and too much current that I'm really afraid of, like these foot traps, and you get hung up by your foot. This is the terrain and it doesn't show up on the map, but suddenly you meet these rock faces and you can't climb them, especially with a backpack. So then you have to go around and you don't know if you get caught again. It's really agony. So this is our camp. I have 1% left of power, so I think it will run out. We'll just pack up and we'll get back, and I have no idea what Einstein is growling at.
So this is my camp after the day of the big swimming. I lost some equipment. I lost my woolen soles for my mountain shoes, and I lost the sunscreen. So that's a bitch. That's what not good about the mesh pockets on the side of the backpack. Also, all my matches is wet. So I definitely need to come up with a better solution for that. It's not good enough just to have them in one dry sack with the other pot and so on. So improving. Luckily for me, this nice family took me in. I won't film their cabin in case someone recognized them, but he's one of the big owners in this valley. Where we are going today, it's the valley over there. It looks quite steep, but they say it's like a track that runs diagonally up the valley, so it's actually a track. And the only river we have to cross today, there's a bridge. So luckily for me, and most of my batteries are charged, and it's going to be interesting to see if the solar panel works or if it's actually broken. Over in that bay, approximately in the middle of the picture, that's where I had my camp, and I have to swim all the way from the camp almost, crossed over there. Yeah, it was a beautiful spot.
but all that terrain is shitty. Okay, so I'm really struggling to keep on the trail, but what I noticed is, first of all, scars like this on a tree, it's a pretty good marker that it's been a trail. The second thing is that where the nettles and other green short stuff grows up every season, it covers the trail. But under the trees where there are some shadow, there is not so much new growth and it's easier to see the trail. So that's what we use to verify the trail, is when we find it in the undergrowth. So learning by burning. And Einstein is back on trail. It's going to be hard for him. This is where we are stuck now. It's a bit hard work, but I think we reached the highest point. I don't know if I'm the sucky tracker or if the trail kind of overgrown. So I'm trying to just maintain this height. So this is what we walked through for the last, I think, 15 minutes. But we're really getting there. This is where we came up. We forged through all that forest. I don't think I hit the right path. So it's going to be interesting to come back here someday and walk with someone who knows the path. All this terrain I walked during the last days. And up in the gully right there should be the river. And this should be the highest point of my passing. And there's a bit of trail. Nice. Challenges were over when we came to this flattened out part of the valley. But this is what we are meeting. Endless fields of rock. So it's really not going fast. I thought it was bad where we came from, but and this is just to take slow. I don't want to break a leg. But I think I will try to gain a little bit of height. So, it's gone well for so long, but now this. So I think we have to kind of get up already here, cross over because I don't want an avalanche, and pass on top of that water and come all the way down again. It's going to be a challenge, but I think it's the safest thing to do. Actually, as you see, we're gonna go back up that ravine, and what's white. So I guess it would be an option just to cross over there,
but I don't dare to take the chance. I mean, this is when accidents happen. End of the day, you're tired, everything. But it's not too bad. We're gonna walk down there, across the small stream, and walk back up, and we should be home free, as I can see. But this is how dangerous it could be. If it's foggy, we could just walk off. This does not show on the map at all. And yeah, so there you can see what we just climbed, and it's to avoid this. There's water running underneath, and it's so steep that I think it can slide out like an avalanche. I'm no expert, but I don't want to risk it. So it seems like as soon as we are done with these rocks, we should be home free. And I hope there's no surprises these last 20 meters. So we'll see. But it's been harder than expected. So that was quite a struggle. That's the reason why we had to go all the way up here and come down. But I don't have everything waterproof anymore. Or I've proven that it's not waterproof. But I think we're home free. I think we're home free. He's a tired guy.
That's the cabin where I'm staying. Just a moment, I think I'm staying. So just a moment ago I saw 2 mooses heading up there. And they were quite small, so I wonder if they were cubs. And one way to find out.
So I thought we would be able to get a hike up in the valley, but no response at all. There's no response along the main road. So I guess we have to walk the 14 kilometers to Fauske. And we have to walk on this side of the rail, because the roads are too narrow, so it's dangerous to walk on the other side. That's life.